Hey guys. Okay, we are going to turn down that worship music just a notch or two. And again, great wintertime chapped lips. So we are going to get going. I'm going to give Facebook just a minute to notify you. Alright. I have both of my little baby people up, and one of them has turned into quite the climber. So this video, this session, interesting. But I'm just believing right now, thank you Jesus, for peace and for grace and ease for today's session. Okay, I am so excited about this session and I cannot wait to tell you why. We are going to learn how to set up a very amazing pan, a very specific pan. And I'm going to show you how to set this up. And this one is super specific, but also learning how to set up this one will help you figure out how to set up your other ones. And I'll get into a couple of little quick tips and tricks and things of that sort. Jedediah, no. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Hey, Lucille. Louie. Will you take Jedders? Will you get something and play with Jed? You guys, you might have to give me half a second and let me go show him where his food and drink is. Say hi. Is this what you want? Oh. Yeah. Okay, so give me half a second for this one. Come on, burgers. Lucille, come on. Get off the table. You guys can still hear me because of my headphones. So, I'm just going to show a little child where his food and drink is and put some pencils so they don't stab each other. Mom life, right? Okay. Yay! Let's get going. Okay, so when you join this Pam, this session, #replay or #live squad, and let me know what you are having for lunch today or what you had for lunch today. And we are going to jump right in. I want to take a moment and say this song, We the Kingdom, Don't Tread on Me. It is one of my favorite songs, and it is a part of some of my Pams. So you just best believe it. It's a great song. You should look it up. All right, so we are working with our guidebook page for day 2, session 2. And you are going to want to have this out. You are going to want to have some notes or something to write with so that you can make notes on that. I'm so excited. Have you started writing down your rhythm yet? Have you started writing it down? We have to write it all down and then we can refine it. Remember, we aren't trying to trash everything. We are writing it down, taking the good and upgrading the bad, right? And hold on. Lucille, Dawn, get out the pencils. Go find your book and your ink pen or get a crayon, but we're not doing pencils. All right, so now it is time for you to learn a very specific Pam. Remember, those Pams, they're personalized. They're based upon your needs. They are based upon your family and allowing that space, right? So this is all about creating the space to be able to set intentions, to have anchors, to release what was and step into what is. So these Pams are very important, okay? And so this is personalized for you, but this Pam that I'm going to teach you today, this is a mindset tool. So personal aromatherapy methods, they consist of a combination and a variation of different happy mom hacks, mindset tools, aromatherapy products, different things that you need. And this one one just so happened to consist of a mindset tool, a Happy Mom hack, and an aromatherapy method, or some aromatherapy products. Okay, Lucille Dawn, if you're going to whine like that, babe, then that means you are tired and you do need your nap. Mommy didn't make you lay down, but if you're going to whine, then you need to go do that. You guys go watch some tunes, go play with toys, and I'll be there in just a moment. They have everything they need, and yet they hear me talking, so here they are. Okay, so our mindset tool for today, it is called Treat Time. You can dub this your mindset tool, you can dub this your Pam. This is Treat Time. And so Treat Time is a twofold Pam. It, one, works for you, two, works for your children. And depending on what point in your rhythm, how old your children are, and the choices and the things that you are trying to accomplish, your intention with this Pam, these will all influence what you choose to go into your Pam, okay? Your treat time. And so I'm gonna give you an example of what ours looks like, okay? Our treat time happens at around 4 p.m. We call it our 4 p.m.-ish Pam because it happens somewhere, we started about 3:15, 3:20 when we get home from school, and it lasts until around 4:15, all right? So this is ours. So it's our 4 p.m.-ish Pam. We come together in the living room. So, I mean, I get my kids know, and I'm speaking it over and over when we are unloading from the car and we're walking in the door. Put your bags up, take your masks off, put them in your backpacks, put your jackets up, put your shoes up, meet me front and center. Like, that's what they do when they meet me front and center. And front and center means right in front of our like TV stand in the middle of our living room. So they go there and we meet there. And we have a combination of affirmations, declarations, and intentions along with our essential oils. And we do this so that we can acknowledge the day that we just completed, practice gratitude, and release it. So we use our aromatherapy, and so we will put it on, and I have a roller bottle on ours, and so we swipe right here on the wrist. They do this, and we take big deep breaths in. And we take a couple of really big deep breaths that fill up our lungs. And we release them pretty slowly. Now, mind you, my children are young and they still like to play around a little bit. And so it's not perfect, you guys. It's not perfect. But it is intentional and it is training them. And it is allowing that space for us to come together, have that connection as a family, and release everything that we just experienced in our day. What it does for me as a mom who works from my home, it allows me that point to say my work day is done, and now I'm stepping into my family evening, right? And it allows me to move on from work into family. It allows my children to move on from everything that happened at school into we're home and we're able to relax. And that's exactly what we say. We take our big deep breath in. We say, I am thankful for all this day held, and now I get to relax. We take more big deep breaths in. And we say, oh my gosh, I just lost it. We say, I take this moment and we release all that was and step into all that is now. Our declarations, those are our affirmations, our declarations. I give generously to my family. We operate in harmony. We speak those out loud together during our treat time Pam. And we are taking those big deep breaths in, and while we're doing this, we are also stretching. So this, again, with my little people, it looks a little bit different, but we are stretching, and which is really important because that helps our body, it helps circulation, it helps promote relaxation. Stretching is just very good for you. So we do really simple, basic stretches, right? We breathe in, like those big deep breaths of air so that we can fill up our lungs, because what that does is that removes like all that stagnant air that's been in our lungs that we haven't refreshed. Breathing deeply is so important for our health and our wellness, emotional and physically. And so taking those big deep breaths in and really filling up our lungs and then letting it all out and doing that again. And when we use essential oils and aromatherapy during this time, they work. They're so amazing. The way that God created our bodies and the plants that he put into this world around us, that we go back to the garden and how we were created. We were literally in the garden and told to work the garden. It's all his design, and don't overlook that. It is so vital and so important. They work physically with our body. Our sense of smell is the only one of our 5 senses that links directly to our emotions and our memories. All right, this is linked directly to our limbic system. All of the other 4 senses, they go to our reasoning first and then to our emotions. Our sense of smell is the only one that goes to our emotions and memories and then to our reasoning. So it is very important that we use these as we are working on the emotional stability and grounding and emotional health and well-being of ourselves. And guys, here's the thing. This is why we focus in on emotions and mindsets and some of the other Happy Mom hacks and mindset tools that you're going to get. It is because we can change our lives by changing the way we think. Those moments in our days that we talked about yesterday that cause chaos and can feel overwhelming and burdensome, when we change the way we think about those things, we change the way we feel, we change the way we act, and we change the result and the outcome. For example, right here is a baby, and this is, I'm not gonna get you too far into another Happy Mom hack that we're gonna learn about in these upcoming days, but there is a thing that we're gonna talk about briefly that's called triggers. And a baby standing at your feet can trigger you, correct? We all have those moments where we hear a baby's crying, it's like, oh. So one of the things that you will learn to do is replace that moment with an appreciation trigger. And we'll know that this baby just wants his mom and wants to be loved. And he might be a little bit ornery, and he might just want to make a little bit of mischief, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go in and I think I gave you all of our treat time. Oh, no, I didn't. So what we do then, after we go through our affirmations, we use our aromatherapy, we breathe deeply, we have stretches, all of that is built into that moment, our 4 p.m.-ish p.m. Then what we do is we get snacks. Everybody gets a snack. And I had to remind my children yesterday that when we are gathering the snacks for after school, you get everything you need right then. You're not going to come back and forth to me 2 or 3 different times and interrupt, because what happens next is vital, right? So, good job, baby. So, we get our snacks, and then they get to choose to watch a little bit of TV or to play, and depending on the weather, outside or inside, and they have things that they get to do during this time period that they don't just get free range to do whenever they want to, because we are a very active family, so we have lots of other things going on pretty constantly. So I'm gonna give you, and then what I do while the kids go play, after I fix their snacks, I set an alarm for either 30 or 40 minutes, depending on how long it took us to get the pan and the snacks. I set that alarm for 30 or 40 minutes. They go and do what they know to do. Of course, we have baby-proofed things, right? So we want to make sure that our kids are safe. But then I go and I have my 30 minutes of quiet time. That's what treat time is. Treat time is the time in your day for you to not have anything going on and for you to be able to sit alone, sit quietly with the Spirit, and just breathe. Let your mind relax. Let your mind actually have time to digest everything that you've fed it that day, right? We do this all the time. We shove and we consume mentally constantly, and then we don't allow time to digest. And think about your body on a physical level. If you consume constantly and you aren't able to digest, that is not good for you. That will cause some severe health problems. The same thing will happen if you do that mentally. It will cause severe mental problems.
Mommy.
Lucille, Dawn, I need you to get down and get up. Go on. We're working through some things. Life is not perfect, but we learn. So, we set intentions. They're very important. Our treat time is very important. All right, so I'm gonna give you some tips for treat time, and then I'm gonna walk you through what I've got on your guidebook to help you decide some things, okay? So here are some tips. Limit the amount of time they get. So whatever you set up for your kids to be able to do or have access to during treat time, limit that amount of time for the rest of the day so that is something that remains special. Example, some of the TV, some of the different things that they get to do. Our family stuff is automatically pretty limited just because of how busy we are, so they just don't get a lot of time at home for those things. Tip number 2, make sure that your babies are safe. Know that they will be okay. You have to be able to know that they're okay. For example, my 1-year-old has began climbing. So we are adjusting some of the different safe keeps for him, and we are probably going to be putting that little play yard gate back into use for him because he has started doing this and developing in that way. But make sure that they're safe. You know, when he was a baby and when she was a baby, I would put them in their swing, buckle them in, turn them on a cartoon that I don't mind them watching, give them their little sippy cup, and they'd be in their swing. And they'd have their quiet time, their treat time in that moment. Now that they're getting older, again, we're adjusting that because they're both entering into new stages. And so you just adjust based off of your children. But your little people, just make sure that they're safe, and then you know that they're okay and you're not worried about them. Sandwich, tip number 3, sandwich this time between time together. So our little people, they need their attention cup filled, right? They need to have that time with us. And so it is helpful to sandwich that time, that treat time, in between the times that you are with them. Tip number 4, communicate the expectations with your kiddos. So you heard me tell my daughter just a little bit ago, go play, mom will be right there, we're doing this. All before this, I was telling her, mom's about to have a session, so you're gonna have to be able to play, you're gonna have to be able to do this, we're gonna do this, right? So we are communicating these expectations. That does not mean that they are always carried out to their fullest extent. Why? Because they're children, they're babies, okay? But as your kids are older, you're able to communicate that to them, and they have the same expectations that you do, and therefore you can move forward together in unity with that. Tip number 5, stay firm with this boundary. What are you wanting? A gun? Yeah. He sees a play gun over there, so I'm going to set him across. There's a little bit of an obstacle here, so hold on. All right, go get it, Peppers. Oh, there's a shoe there that he sees. That's what's happening. My daughter's gotten into some stuff. All right, you stay over there with it. Go play. It doesn't fit you. He likes shoes. I'm not sure why, but he's one, and he just really likes shoes. Okay, so stay firm with this boundary. Example, yesterday I told you I told you that yesterday I had to tell my children, you get your snack times all together at one time. We don't come back and forth over this, right? We have to keep those boundaries firm. Okay, so those are some tips. If you're still with me, if you're still here, let me know that you're here. And just go ahead and tell me, what do you think you're going to be able to do for your kids for treat time? What is something that's already going on in your mind? Or go ahead and tell me if you haven't started having those ideas yet. Go ahead and tell me what time of day you figure you're going to be able to implement your treat time. Start thinking about those things because we are going to go over them together. Okay. Here's some more treat time. stuff. So for your treat time, the kids will be playing. You've got the boundaries set up. You know that they're safe. They have what they need. They're good. You don't have to worry about them, right? So for your treat time, mama, remember treat time is a twofold thing. It's for your children and for yourself. Okay? So for your treat time, use this time to sit quietly. This is a mindset tool for you to be able to calm your mind and your soul. To be able to breathe and not have to think about the 20,000 things you have to do. So here is what is probably going to happen when you begin this. Your mind is still going to be trying to list off all the things that you have to do. So here's a little pro tip for you. Keep a paper or a pencil or something to write with. Do not use your phone. Don't use a list on your phone. You don't want your phone anywhere near you. Go put your phone on the charger, put it in another room. Don't have your phone. Okay, this time is not for electronics. Not for you anyways. So have something to write with. That way when your mind starts listing off and it starts thinking about all the things you need to do, just write it down. Write it down so it leaves your mind and you can say, okay, mind, it's time to hush about that. We've got it. We'll handle it. And learn to be quiet and sit quietly with the Lord. These are the moments that we get to make sure that we are in alignment with Him, that we get to work on hearing from Him. One thing I tell my children, okay, Sissy, take those off and I'll be right there. We're potty training also. One thing I tell my children when I've had to say boys, 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 and I've had to say it multiple times just to get their attention. And the minute I do get their attention, I almost always tell them, you need to tune your ears to my voice. When I speak, you will know because your ears are tuned in and you're listening for me at all times. That is the same thing that we want to do with our Father. We want to tune our ears to His voice. So this is the time to do that. You can choose to focus this time on this mindset time on your good, better, best self. Come back tomorrow for that one. You can spend this time to just sit quietly and tune your ears like we've just talked about. Or you can use this time to work on your mind sweep. So mind sweep is something that Dr. Caroline Leaf teaches. She is a Christian neuroscientist and she has some amazing, just really practical ways to work through some different mindset options. Now, practical does not mean easy. Simple does not mean easy, but they are very powerful. So those are things for your treat time. The other thing that I want to make sure that we talk about, so we're going to spend a little bit of extra time right here, is learning your aromatherapy products to use during this. You will have specific, hey Asteria, you will have specific aromatherapy products that you use with your children during this time for the intention that is set there. And then you will have specific aromatherapy products that you choose to use for yourself to support the intention that you have set for your treat time. So I want to show you some of them as we go over them. And we're gonna go over these. You have fill-ins at the bottom, and then we're gonna go back through and ask a couple of questions about your treat time. All right, so this pretty little box here is, okay, good job, Lou. This is what is holding our beautiful aromatherapy products. And let me just say this. You can buy essential oils almost anywhere now, but don't, because there is no, like the FDA is the Food and Drug Administration, and they have all these standards for the things that we consume, which depending on where you stand in that, those standards may or may not be that impressive to you, but there's at least some sort of standard, right? There are no standards. There are no standards set for essential oils. Lucille Dawn, she sees the oils, she wants them. Go on and we'll get you some in just a moment, okay? So there are no standards set for essential oils. However, The company that I buy from have very strict, very amazing standards. They've been in business for over 27 years and have never had to recall a single essential oil or a single essential oil product. So quality is guaranteed here. All right, I'm gonna go over with you a few of these products, and I'm going to tell you their name and a little bit about them, and you're gonna keep those in mind as you think about what you will use for your children and what you will use for yourself and the intentions that will back those, all right? So are we ready? Tell me you're ready in the comments and we'll get going. All right, so frankincense. Frankincense is one of the essential oils that you will most likely be using. It is very grounding. It is relaxing, and it helps promote feelings that are rooted and focused. Frankincense is an amazing focus oil. Checking on what that little girl is doing. All right, stress away. Let me pull it out of the back. So stress away is another let me move that notification. It's another aromatherapy product, an essential oil. This one is a blend. This one helps your daily stressor. So like all of this that's going on right now that would normally be very like, to me, this is one that helps me with those normal everyday things. Trying to potty train a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old who is still trying to adjust his nap time, right? And figuring out how to do that all within a training where we have 2 sessions a day, okay? So those are normal stressors for my day. What are your normal stressors? Stress away is gonna be one of those go-tos. You, little girl, who I love, you know not to be in here and be loud. So, this helps to create and helps to deal with those daily stressors that when built up can create long-term issues. And so this helps them to be dealt with and released. All right, so this is a great one to keep in mind. Lemon. So lemon is an amazing essential oil to use to help promote focus. It helps your brain. It's really rejuvenating and energizing. So that one is one to use there. Lavender. Lavender is probably the most known essential oil of them all, but it is very relaxing. This one is calming. It's helping to just kind of sweep over those things that cause those like high emotions, right? So lavender is really fabulous for that. Peppermint is our other one, and I'm going kind of quick, but you guys will be able to ask some questions. Peppermint is a great stimulator. So this one is very invigorating and energizing, and it's very stimulating. This one is great for homework time. This one is great for when you're wanting to focus on something and get some stuff done. It's really fabulous to use. Peace and calming. So peace and calming is a favorite for like the little person right down there who needs a little peace and calming. This one, the name says it all, honestly. It's very relaxing, it's calming, it's great for those momentary stressors, those like fight or flight type of stressors, things that happen. Valor. So Valor is our last one that we're gonna talk about. Oh, and then I think there is Nisha. I think is another one I was gonna tell you about. Okay, so Valor is our last essential oil. This one is our Brave oil. It's very grounding, it's encouraging, and it helps to build confidence. When my oldest was 2, this was our go-to oil for him. This one needs to go lay back down. He didn't finish his nap. So, Ningxia Red is the last thing I wanted to tell you about. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Okay, so Ningxia Red is the last thing that I want to tell you about. And in your wonderful little oily box, you will get this little packet right here. These are amazing. It is very energizing. It is fortifying type of energy. It's not a big like, you know, when you drink an energy drink or like the 5-hour energy type things and you're like all jittery and stuff. It's not anything like this. This is a juice. Ningxia Red is a fruit juice. There's multiple fruits in there. There are some different really awesome essential oils like lemon, right? That's really great for you. And it's a very good thing to implement into your treat times with your kids and yourself. It's like a super antioxidant, super fruit drink. So it's fabulous. Okay, are you here? That was a lot of information, but those are really important things for you to have and to be able to have on hand. So a couple of the questions that's on your guidebook. Where in my rhythm? So you're setting up your treat time. Where in your rhythm are you going to place this? You want this to ideally be 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes is a good average. If all you can get right now is 20 minutes, do 20. If all you can get is 10 minutes, do 10. But have something. You want at least 30 minutes. And so again, we do 30 to 40, depending on how long it's taken us to get through our other areas. So figure that out. Where in your rhythm is that going to happen? What aromatherapy products are you going to use? The ones that we use for our children are things like lemon, because we do homework right after a treat time, and so we want that brain to be able to get a moment to relax and move forward. We have stress away, because we want them to be able to release and deal with whatever emotions that they have felt or dealt with during school. So we use stress away and lemon and valor in ours with our children. And for me, I love to use frankincense in mine. And with the little people, we'll use things like peace and calming and lavender. My big people love all of these oils, you guys. My children, they use all of them. And so these are just some of the ones. These are just some ideas, okay? Ningxia Red is a great thing to have in your treat time experience. Affirmation. What is the affirmation that you're going to speak? And we're going to learn more about affirmations as we go. What will you do during your PAM? So this is very important. Get specific. Say, we're going to stretch. We're going to take deep breaths. Well, like, what is this going to look like? How is this going to play out? I told you, my children, they come in, go put this, this, and this, and this up. Meet me front and center. They know where front and center is. Schedule, decide that meeting place. And then what are you going to do? They know what to do, they know what to expect, and they know how to do it. It doesn't mean that it's always perfect, but they know what to do, and we're working and moving towards that. Where will our PAM station be located? So again, where is that happening? What is happening for the children during their 30 to 40 minutes where that timer is set? What are they doing? What am I doing? What's my treat? So what is happening there? And then before and after actions, have in place what you're doing right before and what you're doing right after. So my children know that they get snack time. Mom takes a few minutes and I pour into them. I make sure that they're taken care of. I tell them, you know, we're about to go, we're about to set the timer. And so that is the words that I use. We're about to set the timer and this is what we're going to be doing. And I make sure that they have what they need. And then afterwards, I come back to them and I say, all right, it's time. And we do homework together. That's what we do. So create those before and after actions. Okay? If you have any questions, you guys, comment on this for me. And I want to tell you, if you do not have your aromatherapy products, your quality, good aromatherapy products, don't go buying stuff from Walmart, then I am going to post a link a little bit later on where you can, I'll tell you where you can order this. I told you guys I was going to give you everything you need to have your empowered motherhood and create that and create those moments in your PAMs. So this is a part of it. I'm going to give you the link where you can get those ordered. And I also want to tell you, okay, if you haven't figured it out yet, there's something powerful in doing this together. And if doing this together is something that you think you want, then I will say just hold off on ordering your aromatherapy products because I have something super special I'm going to get to tell you about tomorrow. So I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. I know this one was longer, but we had some really awesome details that we needed to cover. And if it you know, we're all moms, right? We're in here because we're moms, and you've experienced my children with me today. So I cannot wait to hear back from you guys in the comments, and I look forward to tomorrow. We've got some amazing things coming up. Bye.